You're listening to The People's Pitch, the official podcast of Minneapolis City Soccer Club, brought to you by Football Stadium Prince. Let's start the show.
And as I talked about just a couple minutes ago, as Joe Watt stands over this one, he appears to be the one taking the penalty here. This is a huge confidence booster if you're Duluth.
Worst case scenario for City right here.
And it stopped!
Yes!
And it stopped!
Totally redeems himself.
Matt Elder redeeming himself. Oliver with the right foot. The shot is goal!
Oliver!
Justin Oliver will break the scoreless tie. And it is 1-0 Minneapolis City. It's Hutton now on the offense with the left foot. It is now 2-0 Minneapolis City.
Good finish.
Nick Hutton taking his quick victory lap.
This is your official podcast of Baby Steps. It is the People's Pitch, the official podcast of your Minneapolis City SC. As always, I am Nate, joined with me, as always, by John Bisworm. And John, we broke the duck, as they say. 2 goals, 1 point. The unexplored realms of the USL2 season have been breached. We're going to talk about that this week and more. But
Nate,
first,
I know you're speaking English, but I understand probably like a third of what you say.
yeah, I'm kind of in. I'm gonna be honest with you, John. The soccer season has already caught up to me. There's a lot of soccer to watch, and that means that sometimes you got to go to a Minnesota United game and have a couple beers before you podcast. So this is going to be a wild ride tonight.
Is this going to go right next to the shelf where the
secret unpublished John Bisworm?
Yeah, where I got loaded at a neighborhood Christmas party. Or is that not gonna be the one?
Not even close.
Okay, well, that one's sitting up there collecting dust by itself. Something needs to join it. So maybe I'll catch you on another time.
Sometimes the ability to self-edit just goes out the window, and that's okay. Matchweek 2 is in the books, John. We got a little bit of ups, a little bit of downs to talk about. UPSL tonight on the road to Granite City for a table-topping tilt. We'll talk a little bit about that. The top 2 in the NPSL North have locked horns, and it's unusually early that happened, but we'll talk about that. And the USL2 side, like I said, takes their first trip on the road to Illinois, and we got a result. So, John, baby steps fueled by adult bevies. Let's go.
I feel like I'm going to be putting this one on my back today.
No, you're good. The future side got a match week off due to Valora FC needing the date to take on your old friends, the Milwaukee Bavarians, in the USASA Cup. So
go well for Granite City, by the way. They lost that one.
You mean Valora or Bavaria?
Sorry, Valora lost that one. So
yeah,
go boys in blue.
Good job. So our guys had to wait until today versus Granite City to clash up in St. Cloud. And John, this match currently in progress, or I guess by now over as we record. So we're gonna have to see if we get any updates before long. But what can you tell us about the Granite City Rocks and how this match could or could not have gone?
Well, this Granite City sides, if you remember, is that group that took MC2 to the death in that double overtime last season, whatever you call it, weird playoff match, whatever that thing was. But they were quality, man. They were, I thought, the best team in the division outside of Minneapolis City. I honestly think they were probably better than a lot of the NPSL teams last year that we faced. But this group, in my opinion, I feel is probably one of the top 3 coming in, alongside the likes of hopefully us, the Valoras of the world, and themselves. But with the loss of 2 of their top tier players who have moved on to our senior group at Minneapolis City, and Hakeem Senna and Miguel Aleriano, who made the jump after last season over to us, they have retooled and are once again in the top half of the division. Somehow they played 4 games, and I don't know.
We talked about that last week. Like, how are teams playing 3 games before the season even starts for most other teams?
I don't know. I don't know, but they sit in fourth place at 2 wins and 2 losses. Their setup is relatively the same as last year. Like I mentioned, 2 key losses. I think there was another key loss in there, but I can't remember the guy's name, who no longer plays with them. But they have some key additions from St. Cloud State, as well as soon-to-be Division I player Andrew Holmes, which is the son of St. Cloud State head coach Sean Holmes, who's a really quality prep player in that area. And until we get the full updates in this one, I'm just waiting for him, and we'll definitely get him before the end of the show here. It's just a matter of when. All we know is that the Murder is set up a strong squad minus a big piece who was not able to make the trip in defensive linchpin Nick Kent. He's here, he's there, he's every fucking where except for St. Cloud, Nick Kent. But with some key inclusions that are coming with you like that? Like I dropped
good.
that one in.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some key inclusions that I want to note. So some of the college boys are back. So Johnny Bear back from Iowa after his first year at Upper Iowa University. Landon Atkins and goalkeeper Evan Siefkin, along with talisman Loic Masanvi, who we all know. So they're well set up to try to snag some road points, I think.
I think the thing that stands out to me about what you just talked about is that consistency is going to be a big differentiator in this UPSL Midwest West division, right? Like we know, we've seen firsthand that Granite City is a quality side, but still 2 wins, 2 losses. And there's not, as we know, like amazing talent in the UPSL. Midwest West, like you're going to get teams on good days, you're going to get teams on bad days. But if last year's season with the Futures or with the with MC2 is any indicator, like usually you're going to get a bad day. Usually you're going to get a team that shows up and they don't have a printed out roster, or that shows up and they don't have a goalkeeper or a goalkeeper backup or a goalkeeper coach. You know what I mean? So it's like it's funny that one of the top teams in the division already has 2 losses. That bodes well for the Futures in the UPSL. Interested to hear how this game unfolds. We're going to hear more about it probably as we record. Checking my phone, maybe we're going to get some results. But next up, if you're interested in what's next up for the Crows is a trip to Rochester. We're going to play Rochester FC at 7 p.m. on Saturday, May 21st, unless something super UPSL comes up and you can't, someone's ponytail scrunchie gets stuck in their hair or something like that. And this one also gets moved. So whatever. Hopefully, potentially next Saturday, there's going to be 2 or 3 Minneapolis City games, 2 Minneapolis City games next Saturday, 1 in Rochester and one away in where?
Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, you'll be there. You'll be there. Speaking of that match, a match that many circle as the early decider of who might be the top dog in the North Conference. The Crows took an early trip up I-35 to face the retooled Duluth FC, fresh off taking apart Joy Athletic to the tune of 6-0 in a match, John, that showed that this side, Duluth, I mean, has comes and means business. Like, I don't know, you've watched it a couple times. I watched it the night of, put it on pause, watched it after I went and watched Doctor Strange. Like, let's talk to the people about how this match went.
Well, this one did not go the way of the Crows.
No.
They had hoped, considering the last time they went to people or public school stadium, the People's Stadium, to win the conference by a scoreline of 6-1, as the home side came away with a 2-0 victory in this match on the back of goals by midfielder Felipe Oliveira early in the first half. 9th minute to be exact, Nate, off of a turnover by the City backline. And the coaching staff told me, and I went back and looked at it, and obviously you can't go back and complain and overturn something, right? But it did look like Matt Murakami was fouled from behind.
Oh, dude, it absolutely was. Like, watching it on the Garbage 11 YouTube stream or whatever, like, that was exactly what I thought. Like, they just pushed that dude down, took the ball off him, and went and scored.
Yeah, but then as a result of that, Duluth, did what they do best, sprung a dangerous counterattack, and we saw that in the Joy match, like high pressure, high pressure, create turnovers in the offensive third or the opponent's defensive third, and then just capitalize on it. And that's exactly what happened. I thought Troy did his best to come out and try to cover that one, but he's only so big, can't cover the whole goal. And honestly, Nate, for me, from that moment, Duluth was on the gas and never let up in all the way through into intermission.
Yeah, you made an interesting point earlier too when you reminded us that the 6-1 victory last season came close to the end of the season, and it felt like every Duluth game over the last couple seasons has been like delayed until the last couple games of the season, both home and away.
Yeah, it's the first time we faced them in like the first 2 weeks.
I know, so I'm wondering if maybe do you think they learned something? Do they think they figured something out where it's like maybe we're gonna try to hit these guys early?
No, I think the 6-1 result, they didn't want anything to fucking do with us at the end of the year like that again.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is maybe they're like, let's try City early in the season and see what they have. Yeah, but they tried that
before, and then we beat them before. So, and because we set up earlier than they do. So, I mean, I don't think anything was like learned there, but I can tell you they were far more prepared than they were in previous years this early on, or even the first time we faced them for sure.
I thought, John, they looked really speedy and dangerous.
Yeah, they got some speed,
especially on the wings. They gave our defenseman fits, and then when you think about like Chuck gathers a yellow early, he gets a back injury in the first half. You can tell he's limping around, like just grabbing his bag. I mean, he's the guy that you put in there to like take the Duluth punishment, and they gave it to him. I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah, but he played the full 90.
Yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah.
So like he absorbed that punishment like a sponge. But it was wave after wave of counterattack soccer, which I thought was pretty impressive, to be honest. We talked about last show what we felt was the key to this match for them, and it was a sound game plan and tactical setup, and that's exactly what we saw. I think Coach Sean Morgan had his guys set up well to jump on any errant pass that Minneapolis City had, find their 9 or their 10 quickly, as we've already noted on the show here tonight, get numbers forward, and then just like barrage, like be a pest constantly. And that was able to cause the imbalance in the possession focused style that City wants to play, where they want to lull you to sleep a little bit, try to move some chess pieces around, then attack. This was the perfect way to set up against it, to be honest with you. And, didn't afford us really much going forward. I think what it did was it stretched us from line to line. So our defenders and midfielders maybe were connected, but our strikers and our wingers weren't. Or our defenders were left on an island and the midfielders and strikers were stretched. And they were just filling in those gaps constantly and pushing up, which is what I wish we would have done against the Des Moines Menace, to be honest with you. And they did it to us. So they definitely did their homework. I thought it was the way to set up, and it worked well for them in the first half and on into the second half, to be honest.
Yeah, and that second half, it started pretty much the same after a set of subs for each side. It was Duluth, again, that got on the front foot, another counterattack goal. And John, the guy that scored is a former Crow. And I remember last season off air on the pod, you were like, oh, this guy's coming to practice. We're super excited. He's going to train with us. He's living with his girlfriend in Eden Prairie. Here we go. And then he never
was able to feature.
Never showed
trained,
up.
Never was able to play. I was like, God damn it. Now you see why.
Yep. So Sam Thornton shows up for Duluth in the 49th minute, scoring a goal, 2-0, another early half goal. What went down with that one?
It was the same shit, different time on the clock, man. Bad giveaway that Duluth jumped on. Long ball forward to Thornton, who I went back and looked at it again because the coaching staff also mentioned like that was totally a foul too. And Thornton went through the back of Murakami twice and knocked him over. I mean, Sam Thornton's a big dude, and he's very physical, which is why I wish we would have had him last year. But he ran through the back of Matt twice. Like the first time Matt bounced off of him, and the second time he just pounded him into the turf. But you know, that's what happens. Went uncalled, and he calmly buried it in the corner. And at that point, it was for me over for City. We did have bouts of possession that looked like we might be able to unlock something. We had to move Lionel Vang more into a midfield role, like an attacking 10. Then he was getting drawn out. We brought in Hutton. Just like what we did it wasn't like too little too late, to be honest with you. It was just like the damage was already done, and they weren't letting up. So even the changes we made, personnel wise, didn't cover the fact that we just weren't playing good soccer, and they were. And like I said, it was pretty much over at that point. They lacked that sense of urgency or willingness to get urgent again, Nate. So, and that's similar to what we saw with the USL2 group when they played the Menace, like I just mentioned. There was no we were. It was almost like we just wanted to continue death by 1,000 paper cuts and keep the ball. When I'm screaming at the game at like 11:30 at night in my garage, so no one hears me. Like, it's fucking 2-0. Get forward. Like, what the fuck are we doing? So to me, it was the same thing that happened with the Menace. It's like it's kind of maddening. Like you don't have to get reckless, but the sense of urgency to like maybe sideways backwards isn't the best for like when you're down 2 goals for the whole entire time. Like it's okay to get more direct, and that to me is like just a player self-awareness thing. Like all these guys are smart, but they're also like tied to the playing style that we have, which is also a good thing. But sometimes you got to just throw it all out the window and just go route one because you need to. So now we're in a little bit of an uphill battle to defend the crown. I mean, I just looked at the score. They beat the Twin Stars 5-0 tonight, even though Twin Stars went down to 10 men. Shocker that happened. But that's 11, 12, 13 goals in 3 games and haven't given up any.
It's pretty good.
That's very good. So they've sent the warning shot 3 times now to us, and if that's not an indicator of get your shit together for our group, then I don't really know what is, Nate.
Yeah. Well, John, not a lot to show for a 0-goal performance, but there have to be potentially some stand-up performers, somebody that felt like they showed up and were ready to play Duluth. And who would that be?
Well, this one was tough for me. If I'm being totally honest.
Well, I mean, hold on. Before you get into it, like we looked at this roster last week before the game, and we were like, all right, veteran guys. These are guys that know how Duluth plays.
Good mix of
They
youth.
understand the NPSL. Like they get it. Like they know what Duluth is going to throw at us, and these are the guys that could stand up to that. But oh well.
So, like I said, I thought about this one pretty hard because I'm always yelled at for being negative. But Murakami battled hard the whole game. I thought he was out of position playing as a center back. Even though he's a center midfielder by trade and we deploy him out wide, he's a fantastic outside defender. I thought he did great playing center back, considering it's not his full-time position. But I honestly want to say nobody because I thought that we didn't play great. I thought that there was just a lot of things that compounded on top of each other that just made this worse for us. Outside of the fact that they played well, like the other team played well. So I don't have a standout performer. If I have to give one, it's Murakami. But this is my subtle hint to everyone, like you kind of got to show up from here on out. I think we'll get it together. Like I was telling you off air, I went to the training this week. Guys have gotten it. They trained mad based off of both results. We'll get into the USL2 result here, but the group was unhappy with that one as well. So it's good. But you know what? To be honest with you, in the grand scheme of things, it's been a while since we had like true adversity during a season, right? Like our
back to Osseo, maybe.
I mean,
maybe back to the season before that. I don't even.
The season before Osseo was when we went undefeated. So I don't know if there's a lot of adversity there, Nate. Get your facts straight, man.
Time is a flat circle, John. I don't remember anything.
But I mean, it's actually good. I think to have adversity, and I mean, I don't know how many people I'm gonna make happy or mad when I say this, but I don't care. I love the fact that Duluth came to play this year. I
Oh
really do,
yeah.
because in all due respect to them, I thought they had fantastic talent for the last 4 seasons. I honestly felt like they were just mismanaged, and that was why. And we talked about tactical setup, game plan A, B, and C. We never saw them get to B and C though in this match. But I love the fact that they came to play, and I hope that what we talked about with the league leveling up this year is actually true, because it makes for better soccer. I mean, even if we lose a game like this one, like, it's fine. It's fine to lose soccer games. Like, you can't win them all.
Nope.
So I'm excited about the rest of the season, but on the other side of the coin, I'm also nervous about defending a title, because we have a lot of work to do. If they've scored 13 goals in 3 games and we've scored 2 in 2 games, we really need to show up this weekend in Sioux Falls. Really, really do.
Yeah, for sure. And John, we've said this early, as we were kind of previewing the NPSL season and potentially the roster, that defending is a depth problem. And when you see like Murakami, who, like you said, midfielder by trade, he's been super successful out on the defensive wing, getting moved to center back. Like, is that really where we really where we need him?
Honestly, the problem wasn't depth. Honestly, it was just guys that couldn't make things.
Sure.
Like, there was college graduations last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're getting guys in like 3 days late because of graduation, or leaving to go get their diploma. It's like, yep, that's something you can miss soccer for,
Yeah.
like, so. And like, didn't have Tyler David in the USL2 setup. So like, there was trickle down effect, but it wasn't necessarily a depth problem. Like, we have the depth. It just was like a bad weekend problem.
Mm-hmm.
But Murakami did well, I thought.
That's great. The other thing we talked about is that we as fans also, in this new like 3-tier, 3-league season, need to be ready to lose, because we've already seen that with USL2. Like, we're playing a really good league, like higher level than anything we've ever played before. And then that means that, like you said, trickle down, we might not have all of the talent available all the time to dominate the NPSL. And that means back to the days of actual competitive soccer within our division on all levels, which is hard to remember how that works.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, my 5-0 what I do after a 5-0 victory is I stop at the Taco Bell by my house, and I only eat Taco Bell when Minneapolis City wins 5-0, and I get the $5 box. And it's kind of my favorite summer tradition. And I'd like to see that again, but also I don't mind competitive soccer.
Well, next up, John, for Minneapolis City in the NPSL is what is forever going to be a trap game for this club. It's a match that is always a hard one on the Crows. It's a trip to Sioux Falls to face the Sioux Falls Thunder, Saturday, May 21st at 7 p.m. Stream info will likely never come because it's Sioux Falls, but stay tuned to Twitter for updates. Maybe we'll get surprised.
But we're at a different location, I think, this time. I think we're at a high school, so maybe they have the internets there instead of being out in the middle, literally the middle of nowhere. So I don't know, maybe. But Nate,
John,
breaking news, Nate. Before we move on to the last match of the week for the club, I just got word that we have an update from St. Cloud. The Futures boys went up there, and not only did they grab 3 points, but they slotted 6 goals past Granite City without giving up any for the clean sheet. So well done, young gentlemen. Wow. The goals came from, this is going to be a shocker. Part of it's a shocker. Luik, but he scored 4 of them. That's the shocking part. Johnny Bear, who I mentioned was a key addition coming back from college. And then our old friend from the Karen FA, Moo 2. Nice. grabbed 1. So I got some I was able to respond back to the coaching staff with some questions, and the main points on this one were Luik got the first half hat trick, which I believe is a Minneapolis City UPSL record. I want to say, I don't know, did the old man or the Schwarzenegger Did they get a hat trick in a half?
John, I'm going to say Yasik might have done it.
Oh, didn't think about that. Wild card, Yasik,
Mhm.
who, by
I
the
think
way, is growing a sweet mullet. Saw him last night, and I was like, dude, that's some killer flow right there.
I'll take a look. I'll take a look. This is breaking news, so of course I
I
don't
know
have
he's
the
had a
stats
hat trick
in front of me,
I
but
know
I think it was Yasik in one half.
But was it in a first half?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, you're our UPSL historian, so you're gonna have to double check that one for me.
Shit.
So here's another talking point. All of the assists in the first half came from what I was told was a dominant central midfield performance. So midfielders Parker Flynn, Daraj Bassett, and Johnny Bear all had assists, with Parker Flynn dropping in 2 in the first half. So you didn't see Parker Flynn in the last match, but you did see Daraj. You saw Johnny Bear last year. Parker was a member of my Riverside Rovers team in the Futures Winter League. He's a Minnetonka native going to Gustavus. So that midfield we talked about last week, that midfield 3 was where a lot of the issues were. Remember, we talked about how like the extra touch that works in youth soccer doesn't work in at this level, and where the battle we lost the Brooklyn Knights was centrally in the midfield, and we needed to clean that up. Well, it sounds like they cleaned it up, and these 3 guys, Flynn and Bear stepping in, but Bassett, who didn't start last week, gets to start this week. They dropped 4 dimes in the first half, 3 of them going to the week. So there we go. Good work, boys. And then the last talking point was Evan Siefkin in net making his first appearance. Didn't have a whole lot to do, but there were a few instances where he was put to the test, warded off those chances, and kept the Crows clean thus far in 2 league matches. So if I'm looking, I pulled up the standings here. It takes me 4 hours to find our standing. That's just bookmark it because their website's awful. So Granite City was sitting on 6 points in 4th place after 4 games. We were sitting at 7th with 3 points, but our goal differential, we are the only team thus far to not give up a goal. So our goal differential is +7, which would put us on points right now, regardless of how many games played, in 3rd place. And is it Abusa FC? Abuesa? How do we pronounce that one?
Sure.
You want me to tell you how many games they played?
Like 7.
They have played 5 games. And they're sitting in 10th place with four losses and a draw. But they've played 5 games. What the fuck?
That's so many games already.
Us and Turbo have each played 1, and FC Minneapolis has 2. Everybody else has played at least 3. So UPSL doing UPSL things, man. But anyways, good on you, young gentlemen in the Futures program.
Nice.
Going
Great
on
breaking
the road,
news.
Yeah, going on the road in a game that could potentially be a difference maker later on. They got some tough teams they got to face here, but that's a great one to see on the road early. And well done, Malik. We know you can score goals, but maybe leave some for the other kids.
Yeah, well, maybe travel and help another team like this USL2 team who it seemed needed some goals until a key player that you and I have always been very excited about stepped up.
Yep, absolutely. So the new adventure into the USL2 rolled on again, Nate, last weekend in our first road match in the league as we took on another new team to enter the fray, Peoria City SC. I just call them PC. So we took on PC in the only plan. Okay, this is definitely key here. This is the only currently planned weekend where the club's senior sides play on the same day.
That's good.
So unless we get into like a rescheduling or anything like that. So 2 teams, 2 different directions. True test. Is that alliteration? 2 teams, 2 directions, true test. A true test to the ability of this club to show that we can make this experiment work. And we saw players being sent to cover in 2 different directions, 2 different states, to make sure we had full sides. So could we could we make this work? With the big player pool that we have, considering that we didn't have our full roster in, Nate. So great timing, schedule makers. But that's the way it went, man. That's the way it went.
Yeah, I think that at least it was Peoria, a team that we didn't know a lot about, a team that we hoped maybe would be of the same experience level as us, pulling some guys back from college early, that sort of thing, right? Like it wasn't like we got Des Moines twice in 2 weeks,
Speaking of that,
meanwhile, John, by the way, the Canadian teams haven't even played yet, so like this doesn't
I
feel
don't think
super fair.
I don't think they exist this year. Like
Are they
I
not
just
actually
don't.
going to happen? Is this just like blank spots in the?
No, I think it's gonna happen, but like until I see them, I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Like they haven't played in this league in a year and 2 years, so
Yeah.
I know they're gonna be there because this is not a UPSL thing. It just feels like Thunder Bay and Manitoba don't exist.
Yeah, it feels very strange for now.
Until they exist. But anyways, continue.
As I was saying, we saw this match in Peoria unfold in a way we have not seen in some time. We've grown used to maybe little blips on the radar, followed by a handful of goals. But this was City going on the road, facing like adversity, only to have to claw back into things and bring home a crucial road point in a way that we could have easily lost all 3 points. We could have left all 3 points in Illinois. The end result being 2-2. You can check out Kyle's match recap that we posted earlier today on Wednesday. But both goals from the Crows coming from an old familiar face, one of the guys that we've been excited about for this on this team for going on 3-4 years now. That is Eli Goldman, just getting back into town 3 days before the match, showing up and deciding he wants to
take it in his own hands.
Basically just rescue the point single-handedly for Minneapolis City. And God, he did what he does best, and that's score when he's given the chance. He went 2 for 2, his only shots on target, the last being in the 94th minute. That's 4+ minutes of stoppage time, and Eli equalizes at the death. How awesome.
Right. Anything else to add, Nate, before I dive into my take?
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing to add is really, John, is like this game shows us that we really cannot anticipate what we're going to run into in this USL 2. We have no idea, right? And like these guys, they showed up with like collegiate players from Notre Dame, like multiple Notre Dame players and Notre Dame grads. Like this is not, like you told me last week, like these are not Bradley grads, these are not Bradley college players. These are like serious D1 players from
one of the goal scorers
region.
for PC Peoria City, if you weren't listening before, is one of Eli's teammates at New Hampshire, and that team's super strong. Yeah. So like they have that. I'll get into it in my takes. I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, they have legit players.
Part of it to me is like the USL2 season for Minneapolis City is very exciting because we don't know what we're getting into, and we hope that the guys that we love and that we support can rise to the occasion. But also it's like very nerve-wracking because what if they can't?
Mm-hmm.
And so this game was very validating to be like, oh, good, we can score.
Well, Nate, I'm a little more optimistic than your last statement. We showed we can play with the best team in the country.
That's true. That's true.
In our first ever game. So there's going to be a bigger test when we have to go on the road and play them there. We've already done it once this year. We have to do it again. We already know what to expect in the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. But our whole thing is elevating Minnesota-based players. So there are going to be times, and I don't know how unpopular this statement is going to be, but it is true. There are going to be times where we just aren't good enough because of a down year in talent, whatever it might be. But we're ride or die Minnesota players until we're not, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but what we have shown is that these guys are capable of playing up to their competition, but also down to their competition, which has been a City thing for years, right? This isn't my take on the game, by the way. This is just a rebuttal to your statement. I think we're going to be just fine. And I think that the exciting thing in this season to USL seasons that are yet to be played in the future is that how many teams are we going to play where we're going to see the same guy again? Like, probably never.
Yeah.
Maybe like 3-4 guys in our whole entire conference, it might be the same. So it's going to be the same shit every single year, which is exciting. Instead, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That would make a potential title, a conference title, that much sweeter, right? Like we see some turnover in the MPSL, but it's largely like when you get into like the Dakota, we're gonna see the Haggertys again the next weekend. We're seeing Tyler Limmer again. There's probably some
Unless
other
he's on a red card.
there's probably some other Belgiulgi living somewhere in Fargo that we're gonna see playing for the Fusion at some point. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of same shit, different day. They probably say the same thing about us as like Aaron Olson and Charlie Adams again. But whatever. Fuck you. But what I'm trying to say is like it's gonna be this way always, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So should I get to my takes?
Yeah, get to your takes. Thanks for the take on my take. Now, how about your takes on the
just all the
game?
takes. Just I'm on the take. So first off, the first goal for PC, well struck, but that goal ball should never go in the goal. I think it should have either been dealt with by a defender tracking back. There was kind of like a weird bang bang play in the corner of the box. I totally get that, but I thought that we kind of committed guys forward and we didn't get back quick enough, and that guy should have been tracked down. I also thought that the goal our goalkeeper on the day, Kalen Metascalco, probably could have got a hand on it. It was a weird angle, and he kind of went for it, but potentially could have dealt with there. So like it might not even have been the need to rescue the draw. It could have been a dramatic 3 points. That's how razor thin this new adventure is for us. Like one simple block shot could have led to 3 points for us, or them stopping Eli in overtime and it's 1-1 instead of 2-1.
Sure.
Whatever. So razor thin margins. Second, we didn't melt. We actually fought back. Thank you, Lord. We actually fought back and we were able to quickly level. How many times in the past have we seen where we go down a goal and it takes like 20 minutes, 25 minutes for us to equalize if we ever equalize, right? Like we saw it against Cleveland. Like it took us 40 minutes to score a goal after we were already down and dug into the hole. So they fought back. It was super awesome. And I love watching it because we fought back. We also kept possession, but there still wasn't much going forward as far as movement's concerned outside of Eli. Like we pressured as a group and we were able to create an opportunity through our collective pressure, but there wasn't like interchanging of the front three, which someone like Midu is so good at that. And Will Kidd was good at that. Justin Oliver was good at that. We kind of have stagnant attack right now where the guys are like, it seems like they're like hesitant to switch positions when they shouldn't be. And it's actually an advantage for us to do that. So I didn't see that, but we fought, which is awesome. And we fought as a unit, got the ball back, turnover. Wes Lawrence played an awesome ball into Eli, and he did the rest. Second goal for PC came about as unlucky as it gets. Handball in the box, a cross hitting an arm. New man Ben Hughes, fresh off of his own, like just 3 days in, like Eli, one training session, like, hey man, welcome to the squad. You're starting on the road. So like he himself trying to get acclimated. I thought before that he did a really good job of inserting himself into that 11, getting familiar with Jack Barry quickly at the back as far as a partnership goes. I thought he did well. That was just an unfortunate thing. Next one, the killer attitude we highlighted after the Menace match. I said it wasn't there until another new guy to the fray, Xavier Zenge from the University of Dayton, until he was included into the game. And that to me was the crucial point, the tipping point into the match. He came in at outside right back. he locked down and won every duel he had.
Wow.
And then he was able to do it while keeping possession of the ball and going at outside wingers, outside defenders. And what that did is it stretched Peoria out. So then that opened up some more room for movement with our front three. They finally figured it out. They were moving off the ball better, and then it also freed up our central players in order to get the ball, and that's what led to the goal in the 94th minute. Xavier wins a tackle, gets forward, plays a ball. A couple dummy runs go through, plays the ball across to Sydney, who ends up getting destroyed by a defender. Almost looked like he set a pick for Eli. Eli wheels off of that, hits it one time, goal where we get that point. I thought he was fantastic. It was the right sub to make by the coaching staff, and Xavier performed.
Nice.
Last thing for me on my takes here, this league is much harder day in and day out, all across the board, no matter who we face than the NPSL. Like last time Eli scored 2 goals was in a 6-1 victory against Duluth, who was the best team in our division to face off against. Now we're facing a team in Peoria where some people are like, well, it's Peoria. They're not good at sports, but
yeah, they're from where?
Yeah, exactly. But like day in and day out, and it goes back to my take on your take about how we're never going to know what we're going to face until we face them the first time.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. But I think that like the guys did well. I mean, that just shows that we do have some grit in us, even though we didn't see it against Des Moines in the first game, which sucks because it was a home game and a home opener. But it's an exciting jumping off point for our next match, which you'll talk about in a second.
Yeah, so it sounds like, John, standout performers to you are, of course, the brace man, Eli Goldman.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to pass up that. I mean, 2 shots, he had the only 2 shots of the game for us, and they were both in the net. So awesome. Good job,
also,
Eli.
Xavier.
Yeah, I thought Xavier was fantastic, and I went to, like I said, I was at training this week. And like he was a standout performer in training too. So really excited about having him. The hard part is that if we had him in earlier and we had maybe 1 or 2 other defenders that didn't happen to like have other commitments last weekend, potentially would have been able to like reshuffle things at the NPSL level. So like it's all that like it's the card game we're playing, right? But yeah, I think you're gonna get your eyes on Xavier Friday. I think he is in the side. I think folks are gonna really like him.
Yeah, so I mean, as a fan base who is used to their teams winning and winning well over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, 3, 4 years, I'll say. This is encouraging though to hear, John, that like, oh, don't forget we've got guys coming back from school. Like this Xavier guy just shows up, Eli shows up, and then they make a difference at the USL2 level. Don't forget we got Rory coming back. We've got a lot of guys that haven't finished school yet that are abroad, that are on their way, and that's going to have a trickle down effect all the way down the team, right? Mm-hmm. So that like you've got your ideal USL2 roster perhaps gelling mid-June. And that means that the NPSL roster is going to start gelling a little bit ahead of that, and that's just going to be good news for everyone, hopefully, and great for fans. Not to say that fans have been disappointed because we've been playing fun soccer to watch, but it's like we like to see some dubs once in a while.
Yeah,
Speaking of dubs, John, I did check. I went to the research vault. June 25th against Turbo Sports, Jacek Nikowski hits his 3rd goal in the first half in extra time of the first half.
So he didn't do it in full time. He did it in extra time.
45 plus minutes, and he hits the hat trick. But City was down to 10 men after that Logan Huber red card early in that game against Turbo Sports, if you remember. We were playing down to 10 men after 3 minutes.
He put that guy into another stratosphere when he hit it. Holy cow! I can still hear that noise the guy made when not only the first noise he made when Big Logan hit him, and then when the guy hit the ground. It was like every ounce of breath in that poor human being was out. Yeah. So I am proven wrong, but we'll caveat it a little bit. So full strength, first ever first half hat trick in normal time.
There we go. Good job, Loic.
Yeah, good job, Loic.
Next up for the USL2 side, John, is another whack. We get another whack at Peoria City as we begin prep week. Did you get your polo?
I didn't order one.
I got mine.
I don't look good in pink.
Okay.
It's just a fact. I don't look good in pink.
So prep week starts this Friday, May 20th, 7 p.m. Breck Stadium. There's going to be no stream. They don't really have the internet, even though it's a very expensive private school. They don't have internet in the press box at Breck. So stay glued to the match day Twitter for updates. And of course, stay tuned on this podcast feed because Kyle will have an update, a recording of his game day updates posted shortly thereafter. Maybe we'll get some VEO video going and put that on the team's channel on the team's YouTube channel after the match. But you got to be there in person to see it. It's our first USL2 home game at Breck Stadium, 7 p.m. Friday, May 20th. Be there and wear your polo.
Dude, it's a lot of firsts for us this week.
Big time.
Yeah. Are you going, Nate? You can be there?
Yeah, I have to be there. I'm still the PA guy.
I thought we couldn't even get into the press box.
No. They basically are like, yeah, we've got a karaoke machine you can shout into.
We're used to that from year one at the barnyard. Are we gonna be out of a shed? Should we just do the commentary from like we did back in the old days?
You can go right ahead. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do it.
Well, thank you for listening to this week's show, friends, and thank you to our wonderful show sponsor, footballstadiumprints.com. If you're in the market for some supremely curated soccer-focused stuff on anything from mugs to T-shirts to prints, head on over to footballstadiumprints.com, fill up your cart, and don't forget, use the code CROWS10 for 10% off. That's CROWS10, the number 10, 10, for 10% off anything you purchase. And remember, all orders ship from the United States, so none of those pesky international shipping charges, which is nice. So things get here pretty quick. As a reminder, Minneapolis City is a 501c3, so consider beefing up that tax-deductible donation ahead of next year through a charitable gift to the club that loves to give back. And if you're interested in getting a hold of us, we've made it super simple. You can go through the club Twitter at MPLSCitySC, or you can get us through the show at the People's Pitch on Twitter or through email. I haven't an email in a while. Seems like a good time. Good time for some questions. Hint. Resident. Bryn, come on, buddy. We're thirsting for some Bryn content. You can hit us up via email, mcscpodcast@gmail.com. And that is all for this week. I am John. That was Nate. Game week 3 for the senior side kicks off on Friday as prep week begins. Just Camaros and popped collars, Nate. So get out to Breck on Friday night. And why the heck not? Make the trip to Sioux Falls. I'll be there. Join me and maybe get booked.
Just paddle some dorks.